Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid. We're about to destroy this Metal Gear, or at least stop it from being used as a weapon.
I can't imagine how we're supposed to stop this if we do have to fight it, though. That seems pretty difficult.
Let's hope we don't have to fight it.
Snake, it's me.
What's wrong? Did you find a good place to hide?
Yeah, thanks to the stealth gear. It looks like they've finished getting Metal Gear ready.
How do you know that?
I overheard them talking. Where are you now?
Right in front of Metal Gear, but it's strange.
What I think it's strange is that we still keep getting these calls, even though we are right at the end of the game. There's not much left to do, but we still get notifications about everything in the game. At least it's from someone else that's here, so that's nice.
I don't know, but it does give me time to think about what I'm going to do next, so that's nice.
Are you a hacker?
Yep, that describes me pretty well.
Does it look like you can get in?
I don't know yet. I'll give it a try.
I'm counting on you.
Okay, I'm glad we have him trying to get us in. It's nice there's somebody who is invisible that's on our side, even if it would be preferable for Snake to be invisible. I keep bringing it up, but it's still a pretty important detail.
Seriously, he's calling again?
Snake, it's me again.
How's it going?
Not bad. I just got past his third security level. He was a pretty careful guy.
Do you think you'll break in soon?
I never met a system I couldn't bust into.
Okay, keep trying.
Wow, that was a very important detail for him to tell us now. I'm sure there was no way he could have just kept that to himself, and we would assume he would be doing well with his hacking.
Maybe he's just proud of his accomplishments.
This is the third time in the span of a couple minutes already.
I did it.
You got past security?
Bingo.
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
I haven't found it yet.
I'll admit this is really slowing the pace down by a lot. I think it would have been better to condense this into one call at the beginning instead of constantly calling one time after the other, since it's not really helping to tell us this whenever Snake climbs a ladder or something.
I think we're all in agreement at that. There must have been a way for this to be cut down by a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps calling after this anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But unlike a missile, the railgun doesn't burn any propellant, so it can't be detected by any current ballistic missile detection systems.
An invisible nuclear warhead.
Totally impossible to intercept. And on top of that, it's got a surface-piercing warhead designed to penetrate hardened underground bases.
We learned that lesson in the Gulf War.
Oh yeah, the Gulf War, that was one I remember quite clearly, though it's more recent, whereas I still remember being involved in the Civil and Revolutionary War a little less clearly as it was so long ago. So that makes sense.
No, that does not make sense, Joe. You shouldn't have been alive for those last two, though somehow it's actually believable that you are actually just that old.
It's the most believable thing he said all day, so we'll have to take our victories where we can.
Hey, Donald, is it just me, or do you sound a little bit different? Actually, I think I sound a little different, too.
Actually, outside of the game, we have switched over to a new way of getting our voices heard, which is called Play HT. So that's why we're going to be a little different than normal.
Once they input the detonation codes, they should be ready to launch.
So you think they can do it?
Well, the dummy warhead was designed to be identical to the real thing, so I think so.
Did you find out how to override it yet?
Not yet. It must be in a separate file. Right now I'm looking through all of Baker's personal files.
We're counting on you.
Wait, what do you mean different way of our voices being heard? I don't understand what that means for us.
I think it just means our voices will need a little bit of an adjustment. So if anyone in the comments section wants to let us know if we sound good or need to make any changes for one or all of us, please let us know.
And we're not just saying that to drive up the engagement so more people watch the videos, but I think we should get back to the game before we break the fourth wall any more than we already have.
Not like there's really much to watch. Joe is looking out for any guards, and I half expect Oticon to call 7 or 8 more times to tell us what he ate for lunch this morning, because it's not like he wouldn't at this point.
I'm trying to stay very focused now, otherwise I'm going to get caught, and I don't think there's any real way for me to hide up here that I could tell.
Yeah, I don't see any other options, so perhaps if you look through the sniper rifle again, you might find someone. Otherwise, you should be okay to just go forward at this rate.
Actually, I see someone over there now, but I will switch for better precision, and so he won't have a chance to shoot me back. Yeah, that's right. That's what happens when you mess with the one and only Joe Biden. You get obliterated.
At least the path should be clear now. Let's see what we're all up against and deactivate this thing finally.
That would be good, but there's probably going to be a long cutscene first.
You're probably right. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I've entered the PAL codes and disengaged the safety device. We can launch anytime.
There's still no response from Washington. It looks like we'll have to show them that we mean business.
Should I set it for Cherniton, Russia?
No, there's been a change. The new target is Locknor, China.
If the safety is disengaged, does that mean we're too late to stop it now?
I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Liquid. But why? There's nothing there.
Wrong. It's a nuclear test site.
A nuclear test site?
If we nuke a major population center, the game's over. But a nuclear explosion at a test site can still be concealed from the public. Meanwhile, Washington will be worried about the retaliatory strike from China.
That'll probably mean top-secret talks between both countries' leaders.
Of course. And in the process, the President will be forced to divulge the existence of a new and highly destabilizing nuclear weapon to the Chinese.
Wait, the President, I think he means me. I don't know of any plan like that.
No, Joe, he doesn't mean you. It just means the president within the story itself.
That means that China and India. I see.
Yes. When the other countries hear about this new weapon, they'll all want to contact us. Washington won't be very happy when we start selling their own system to the highest bidders. Yes, the President will break. He will give in to our demands.
Big Boss's DNA and $1 billion.
$1 billion? That money will be used to cure our genome soldiers as well. I'm also including the Fox dye vaccine in our demands.
Wait a minute, Fox Dye. Is that something we've heard of before?
Ocelot is saying it killed Decoy Octopus and the Arms Tech president, which would have explained the sudden heart attacks, but I don't think that really explains exactly what it is.
I wonder if this was one of the things kept hidden by all of the codec people during the mission earlier.
Wasn't infected either. Perhaps due to those tranquilizers she always took.
Something to do with the adrenaline level in the blood. Or maybe it's just because this Fox dye was still experimental and they haven't worked out all the bugs yet.
In any case, have you heard from your friend, Colonel Sergei Golukovich, at the Spetsnaz?
Have we heard of the Sergei guy either? I don't remember hearing much about him, and I can't imagine he would be too important since I think we're right at the end of the game already.
No, maybe there is another game where he shows up in, but I don't think he's in this one from what I could tell.
There's nothing to worry about. The Colonel wants Metal Gear and a new nuclear weapon so bad he can taste it. If Russia wants to regain its position as a military superpower, they need to reinforce their nuclear arsenal. They need a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. Metal Gear will allow them to gain first strike capability over the rest of the world.
Their regular army is in shambles, and they think they can restore their country's military power with nuclear weapons? Golukovich, he's no warrior, he's a politician.
Guys, I don't know if I can pay attention much longer. It's kind of weird to be hearing this much about somebody we haven't even seen before. While nothing else is happening, maybe something interesting will come up, but I'd rather take codec calls at this point.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not really following much anymore. If Snake could actually interact with someone, that would be pretty nice.
I'm worried about the men's morale. An alliance with the Russians would boost that as well.
What do you say?
We're not going anywhere. We're going to dig in here.
We could still escape.
We've got the most powerful weapon ever made, and we're about to ally with Golukovich's forces.
Are you going to fight the whole world?
And what's wrong with that? We can launch a nuclear warhead at any target on this planet. A nuclear warhead invisible to radar.
Hey guys, would now be a good time to tell one of my stories.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Joe. I'm not that bored.
We get the DNA and the money. The world will be ours.
What about your promise to Colonel Golukovich?
I have no interest in the revival of Mother Russia.
You're not thinking of reviving Big Boss's dream.
From today, call this place Outer Heaven.
He seemed to say that in a way that sounded really important. I wonder if it really is going to be a vital part of this game or another in the series.
There are quite a few games in the series before and after this. If we play through more, then I imagine we will be getting a better idea of what Outer Heaven is like.
No need to worry. The DARPA chief and the Arms Tech president are both dead.
Does Snake know how the override system works?
You interrogated him, don't you know?
He didn't have any keys on him.
Good. Then no one can stop Metal Gear now.
By the way, what should we do with that woman? Want me to kill her?
Let her live.
Okay, good. If they did anything to Meryl, I don't know what I would have done. That would have been the last straw, and I would have used the Metal Gear to shoot Liquid and Ocelot personally.
Oh yeah, I knew you would acknowledge him as Liquid. It only took 8 parts, but it finally happened.
Snake, I found Baker's top secret files.
Great job.
How's it going there?
They've finished inputting the PAL codes. So how do we deactivate them?
Okay, you see the override system that the President was talking about? It can also be used to input the detonation codes. You see, if you insert the keys when the warhead is active, you deactivate it.
Oh, okay, so we can deactivate it then. That's good to know. I thought we were all too late now.
Well, even then, we only have one of 3 keys, so I don't know what we can do to get the other 2.
Maybe they will explain what to do about that.
But it takes 3 keys, right? I've only got 1 of them.
Hold on a minute. You see, that's the trick. You already have all 3 keys.
What are you talking about?
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes. It's a material that changes shape at different temperatures. The key is made out of it.
This card key?
Yeah. The card key changes shape at different temperatures.
That is a pretty good idea for a key. Or keys, rather, I should say. At least we don't have to go searching for any more at this point. But I'm not sure exactly how we are meant to change the temperatures.
I see them.
Those 3 laptop terminals are for the emergency input. There should be a symbol on each screen. Each symbol corresponds to a different key. Input the keys in order from left to right.
Well, the first one looks like it's the color we already have, so we don't have to do anything special for that one. And the other 2 have blue and red colors, which should be cold or hot temperatures.
That looks right from what the game is showing. That still doesn't answer exactly how the temperature is going to be changed.
First, I change the shape of the card, and then I input them in order, right?
That's right. All you do is insert the card keys. After you insert the key into the module, a hard disk reads the information contained on it. Once you've finished with all 3 terminals, the code input process is complete.
I think someone should mention the fact that even if we manage to figure out how to change the key to hot and cold, I doubt Ocelot and Liquid Snake are just going to let us in and change them so easily.
Especially since they're looking right at him on the camera, so much for stealth.
Damn! The key fell in the drainage ditch.
Man, we were just about to get the first one in, but now we have to go all the way down and pick it up. That seems to be in place just to lengthen the game time, as if the codec calls and other cutscenes haven't done that enough already.
For the sake of the viewers, we're going to be making a lot of cuts for both getting the key and changing the shape of it so they don't have to watch Joe go up and down so many times.
So Joe, what is your plan for getting that key exactly?
Well, I assume there are some rats along the floor that would have gotten the key before I could climb down, and since the key is yellow for room temperature, they think it's cheese, so I'm going to blow a rat up with a claymore to get it back.
Joe, that was one of the least sensical things I've heard in my entire life, and somehow you were completely correct. I guess these Metal Gear games are oddly enough a place where your strange way of thinking can shine.
If only he were playing the later games in the series, then that would be beneficial to us.
Oh yeah, we can discuss who is playing what later, but for now I have a key to insert into one of these computers.
We should mention that, but I think later would be a better option too, as right now there might be some important things happening with the first key in.
Isn't that what I just said, though? Ah, yeah, that's 1 out of 3. It's biding time for sure.
Awaiting PAL code number 2.
Okay, that takes care of PAL code number 1. Now, PAL number 2. Freeze the key.
Oh, I know you can go back to that place where you fought Vulcan Raven, since that's really cold and you should be able to freeze it after a while.
This is where cutting this up really helps, as otherwise there would be several minutes of going in and out of this room while waiting for the key to change. Otherwise, this would be nearly an hour long.
All right, it's time for biding time number 2, coming right up.
PAL code number 2 confirmed. Awaiting PAL code number 3.
Hey, I think if we need to heat it up, there's that section we got to in the middle of the last part that was really hot. Perhaps that's a good spot to change it there.
Ooh, that's good. I'll go over there now, but it might melt my popsicle I have in my other hand, so I'll have to use one hand on the controller and the other hand holding a melting popsicle stick while I desperately try to lick it before it falls to the ground.
We didn't need to hear that, but okay.
You should talk to the Colonel. He's looking into it. Turn your monitor off. Okay, it's off. No one else can hear us. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I didn't want the Colonel to hear.
Okay, so what's up?
I've got a good friend in the Pentagon.
I'm not sure what this has to do with anything, really, unless that Pentagon friend is really helpful towards finding out if someone has been lying to us, which we've kind of already figured out.
Assassination weapon.
An assassination weapon?
Snake, have you ever heard of something called fox dye?
No. Fox dye. Liquid and the others were talking about it.
Yeah. It's some kind of virus that targets specific people.
Oh, actually, I might have been wrong. This does sound important.
What are you trying to say?
It's too similar.
What is?
The cause of death. Didn't the Arms Tech president and the DARPA chief, I mean, Decoy Octopus, die of something that looked like a heart attack?
Yeah, we already figured out that they were related. Was there anything new you were going to mention at all?
No. You're telling me that Naomi was behind it?
Snake, try to remember. Did Naomi give you some kind of injection?
The nanomachines.
She was in the best position to have done it, but I don't know what her motive was.
This sounds like things are getting pretty intense. I wish the rest of the codec calls were like this, as they seem to actually mean something unlike where the rest are telling Snake how their day was, or when they recently hacked something or a character's backstory.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Donald on this. I usually just sleep through these conversations, but I'm actually somewhat awake for this one.
Well, I'd like to avoid the rough stuff, but we don't even have any sodium pentothal here.
Call me if you find out anything.
So it's true, isn't it?
Naomi. I can't believe it.
Well, that's a shame anyway. Let's move on so we can save the world instead of focusing on someone who may have infected us with a virus that kills people at random.
Oh, would you look at that? Donald wants to ignore a potentially dangerous virus that worked so well the first time.
Nobody asked you, Barack. My reaction was very well thought through and worked perfectly, and I'm sure that will be the case this time too.
Okay, that's enough, you two. I have a card to heat up, and I don't need anybody distracting me from my mission.
To be fair to them, Joe, you're just staying in one spot and waiting. That doesn't take much focus to do.
Oh no, the card part is easy. My problem is the popsicle in my other hand I needed to focus on, and unfortunately most of it dripped on the ground in case anyone was wondering.
Can you hear me? It's Naomi.
Naomi? What the hell?
Campbell and the others are busy right now. I'm on a different codec.
Naomi. Is what the Colonel says true?
Yes. But not everything I said was a lie.
Oh good, she only infected Snake with a virus that has killed 2 people so far and might kill him, but it's okay because there were some things that she didn't lie about.
Not that this would excuse anything, but let's listen to what she actually has to say and know what she was and wasn't lying about.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia sometime in the 80s. A dirty little orphan.
Rhodesia? What's now known as Zimbabwe?
Yes. Rhodesia was owned by England until 1965, and there were lots of Indian laborers around. That's
Wow, this is a really riveting tale so far.
about that.
Naomi, you're too worried about the past. Isn't it enough to understand who you are now?
Understand who I am now? Why should I? No one else tries to understand me.
Sometimes I feel like nobody understands me too.
Nobody understands you, Joe.
Until I met my big brother. And him.
Your big brother.
Yes. Frank Yeager.
What?
Wait a minute, isn't Frank Yeager supposed to be Gray Fox? That certainly complicates things even more.
Near the Zambezi River. I was half dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me. Yes. Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
Well, that certainly makes things complicated. This is almost like that time where I was telling a story to an elementary school class, and then someone called me ugly, so then I sent the Secret Service after his parents. Let's just say he didn't say anything to me again after that, and his parents never said anything ever.
Joe, what does that have to do with literally anything happening right now?
Oh, it doesn't. I was just thinking about it recently.
And that's when it happened. You killed my benefactor and sent my brother home a cripple. I vowed revenge and joined Foxhound. I knew it was my best chance to meet you, and I prayed for the day that I would.
So, were your prayers answered?
Yes. I waited 2 long years.
To kill me? Is that all you cared about?
Yes. That's right.
This is a rather interesting development, and it would be even better if Joe's weird stories didn't distract from that.
Come on, they're not that weird. If you want a really weird story, I should tell you about the time where I was trapped in the elementary school restroom last week and people made fun of me all day.
Not exactly. I was partly wrong about you.
What about Liquid and the others?
I'll have my revenge on them too.
Naomi, you didn't kill that doctor too, did you? The one that used Gray Fox for his genome experiments?
Dr. Clark? No. That was my brother.
I have to say this is one of the better codec calls as it's actually affecting the character motivations and gives context to previous events. If only the rest of them were like this.
To kill me?
I don't think so. I think he just came here to fight you. I wasn't sure before, but now I think I understand. A final battle with you. That's all he lives for. I'm sure of it.
Fox? No.
I would think that if Gray Fox really did want a final battle, then that would be considered killing Snake, or at least trying to... I'm not sure what she's getting at here.
Fox-Die is a type of retrovirus that targets and kills only specific people. First, it infects the macrophages in the victim's body. Fox-Die contains smart enzymes created through protein engineering. They're programmed to respond to specific genetic patterns in the cells.
Those enzymes recognize the target's DNA?
Right.
Guys, I have to be honest, I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. I can't handle all of this scientific explanation. I'm going to sleep. Just wake me up when it's over.
For once, I can't even blame him for wanting to go to sleep. It's a lot of weird science explanation for a thing that does not actually exist, but I suppose it's the closest thing to realism this virus is going to get.
Naomi,
What?
you must have programmed that thing to kill me too, right? Do I still have time?
Oh no, it must be a lot for Snake to handle the possibility of dying due to this virus. I can only wonder how that's going to affect the gameplay, if at all.
Realistically, I don't think it's going to do a thing. It's more likely it's just going to be some plot device that won't affect Snake at all in this game, at least especially since there's like 5 games in the series.
Actually, from what I've looked up, some of the games in the series don't take place after this game, as a few of them are prequels that serve to give context to other characters. We won't know for sure until we eventually play them, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Snake, I can't allow Naomi to make any more unauthorized transmissions.
What?
Naomi's been removed from this operation.
What happened to Naomi? What did she mean when she said that Fox-Die was a part of this operation? Colonel, let me talk to her.
I won't. She's under arrest.
I wonder if Naomi is going to get a better mugshot than Donald did.
Fake news, I got an amazing mugshot. Many have even called it the best mugshot they've ever seen.
Oh yeah, Joe, the codec call is pretty much done. You can start paying attention again.
All right, did I miss anything important, or was it standard codec call discussion?
Actually, Naomi got arrested and said that Fox-Die was part of the mission, so that was pretty important.
Oh no, she was going to be my third choice after Sniper, Wolf, and Merrill, but if she's arrested, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Joe, can you not fixate on PlayStation women for like 1 episode, please?
Palcode number 3 confirmed. Palcode entry complete. Detonation code activated.
No, why?
Oh no, I don't think that's supposed to be happening.
It's definitely not Bidening time for us.
For launch.
I deactivated it.
That worked perfectly except for that part that didn't, which was all of it.
Thank you, Snake. Now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master, what's going on?
You found the key, and even activated the warhead for us too. I really must express my gratitude.
Wait a minute, Master Miller was on the enemy side. When did that happen? He's thanking us for it activating almost like it's a good thing when it obviously isn't.
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried.
Hey guys, I dozed off again. Something tells me that Master Miller may not be on our side, but I'm not exactly sure why I think that.
Yeah, we're already ahead of you, Joe. Granted, we only realized it a moment ago, but still.
And people wonder why your nickname is Sleepy Joe.
I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. Unfortunately, Octopus didn't survive the encounter, thanks to Fox-Die.
So in that case, it was actually good that Fox-Die worked when it did, otherwise we may have needed to fight Decoy Octopus.
Huh? You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
Who the hell are you? In any case, the launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox dye vaccine to me.
Wait a minute, did he just say the White House? I think that's where I'm at right now. I might have to give in to his demands, otherwise he's going to use the Metal Gear on me.
Joe, for the last time, he's talking about a different character in the game itself. You don't have to give in to any demands since this is just a video game.
No, I think I'll transfer the money to him just in case I don't want to risk anything.
This really is America's president, everybody.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because my codec link with Master was cut off. But Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
Guys, I think I know what's going on. He looks so similar to the guy we've been seeing the entire game, and there's only one person who can impersonate Master Miller.
Dear brother.
Solid Snake himself.
No, Joe, you said it correctly earlier. I give up at this point.
Guys, we don't have time for our proper outro now. We have to end things and see the exciting events unravel next time.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
And thanks for watching.